Hey friends, this is Laura with Potpourri of Life. It looks like my lighting isn't that great, but I'm out here today to actually put something together. The benefits of your husband working hard and working hours that are really not conducive to helping out around here is you pick up the slack because, number one, you like your yard to look nice, and number two, it just has to get done. So today, I ordered something the other day. And it's something that I wanted, and I told him, I said, hon, I'm going to put this together. So he got me the tools, and what I'm going to be doing is making a steel garden wagon. It's something that I've wanted. I ordered it because it'll be very handy for me with the garden stuff. So my camera at first was not working very well, so we will see how I do with all this nonsense. So I'm going to reposition the camera and see where we go from there. So my husband went and he got me, I have no idea what that is. What is he doing to me? Well, it feels like a pump, so I don't know what that is. Maybe it's for the tires. So he got me his tools that he thinks I'm going to be needing. I got a bunch of pretty pots. And I've got the lovely wagon in pieces. So as we all know, the thing that Laura does not like to do is read directions, but this is something that I'm going to read the directions because I have never put something like this together. It's not the same as sewing something. I can take a pattern, cut the pieces out and so forth, and create something with the sewing machine without following directions for the most part. Something like this, now this is something my husband does. So I am going to read the directions and then I'll be back with you. So the direction says, once it's completed, it's a 400-pound capacity. Not a problem. Both Dave and I could sit on it and we'd still have room to put plants on it. It's a one-person assembly. I got it. It does say I need a small wrench. I guess that's small enough. It doesn't say what size. Isn't that peculiar? Oh, actually, my husband got me a couple others. These are bigger, so we'll see. I think it depends on the size. This one is 13 mil. They're both 13 mils. I think it's going to depend on how I can get in and around. Yes, I've been around this kind of stuff before. And a needle nose plier. I have a feeling I'm going to have to go in and get my own. I've got smaller ones than he does. And then I'm going to need the air pump, which is what this is. I said, I don't know what this is for, but I guess from what I read, I have to pump up the tires too. We'll see how that goes. So I have all the parts, and it says it takes approximately 45 minutes. What do you think? I think I got it. So the parts for this, we should have a bottom frame, but the two pieces that are on top are the side frames. This is one of the neat things about this. I'll show you at the end that you have the pieces go up. I think you can see it best with this. You see how the sides are up on the side? They actually drop down. So like when I get my grains or any soil or anything that I purchase from the farm or from the grain store, I'll be able to put them on that and not have to worry about them fitting in between the sides, so they will drop down. That's the reason I got this. Well, part of the reason, other than the fact that I needed something like this. So these are the two sides. And so far, my day has been going quite interesting where nothing's going right, and I'm just like, okay. This here looks like it's the handle. I'll take that out of the plastic. You don't need to watch me do that. This is going to be fun. My husband has to go to work, and I know he wants to be here to help me. But one of the things that I'm doing, because his schedule is just not conducive for him to do a lot of things around here, is I'm actually forcing him to allow me to do stuff like this because, I mean, he's my hero around here. He does a lot of stuff. It's not that I can't do things, but life is such that, you know, he has to work. And in the event something ever happens to one or both of us, we are trying to make it so that we're both able to do each other's job. I make a mess of stuff. Well, they really wrap this up, and I think it's to make sure it doesn't scratch up. It's only going to get scratched up with use, but we all know that some customers would get really upset if it was really scratched, so they have to protect it to some degree. Let's see what it is. Is it stuck in there? This is something. Pop, 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 pop. I have a feeling this goes on the bottom. It's not the same as putting a jigsaw puzzle together. Ooh, this is the front axle. Now I'm getting mechanical. So this is the front axle that I'll be putting on the front side. I don't mean to sound stupid, I'll figure this out. But, and this must be the rear axle. Well, the axle frame. So this is going to be fun, and, oh, what's this? I got two of these babies. These are rear struts. You know, these are terms that I hear my mechanic or David talk about sometimes for my car or their car. And I never look at them because I'm not a mechanic. But I can do this. So I'm going to be back with you, and we'll see how well I am doing in a little bit. So what I'm doing, and what I really appreciate about this kit, even though they list out every single part on one side, a lot of the parts are already together. So it makes it easy for anybody. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, or not able to do stuff. Follow the directions and you'll be fine. The first step is this, I believe is the front axle. Am I right? So these are so this is the rear frame, rear frame, and it's got the rear struts. When this came in the package, they actually had these on, so which is kind of cool because it makes life easier if you don't take it all apart and then put all your parts all along the floor. So according to the directions, you put them on right there. Now let's see, it doesn't say to put the bolts on yet, so we're going to wait on that. But I'm going to lay that down. This here is the front axle, and it already came with some parts together. And these things are going to go like something like this. I don't know yet, so hold on. So I'm counting pieces. I have 8 of these pins. Cool. I got 4 flat washers. I guess what that is. That's fine. Then it says flat washers and the bolts. So I've got 14 of these little doohickeys. And on it, even though the picture doesn't show the washer, there's a little washer here. So there's 14 pieces with the washer attached. And I have another washer here, but it's not the same size. So I'm confused. But that's the only other extra washer that I have. It asks for a 1 piece of an M8 x 60 bolt. That looks about right. On that picture, it doesn't show the washer, so I'm just wondering if that's the 15th one. So I'm not going to panic yet. Then it needs 15 pieces of the nuts. Well, that's not going to make Doesn't make sense, but maybe it does, because we were talking about the bolts, and on the end of them they have the bolts on them, or the nuts on them, so I think that's where the 15 comes from. An M12 nut. They're not attached to anything, are these guys. So far, it looks like I have everything. Let's see, an open pin. Ooh. The only open pin I can see is already attached, so we're going to go with that. A handle coupler, I believe, is this. And then those 15 washers. So it looks like I have everything. At first I was getting a little nervous because as I was counting these as 14 and this one as 1. But the washer and bolts are on this, so I figured it out. So now we are going to take, let's see, there is a part right here in front. Basically, I'm going to just have the rear struts all in place. See? It can be done. Alright. I'll put that over there. But over here we have this unit, which is the puzzle that I am now struggling with. So what I did was, I'm following the picture directions. It says use part 3 bolt. You go back to part 3 bolt, which is, they don't, so that's those little bolts. And you use that plus the nut and a part 9 flat washer to attach part D yoke, which is this doohickey here, to the front axle and part L of the front axle together. So from what I'm understanding, we'll see how this goes. I am going to have to change the camera. Just for your entertainment purposes only. And I don't know if you can, yep, you will. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this doohickey apart. Everything is together. It makes my life easier. And I'm going to go up through this and put this on. Mind you, David is the one who does this all the time. Okay, this is not going on tight. I don't know what that means. Let's try it this way. I don't think it's going to matter. That one's not going on. So I'm just going to put this on like that. This one here, that one's fine. The cotter pin is down here. So far everything is as it should be. Ah yes, I think it's so that it can move about. Alright. We got that like that. But over here, we need to put this piece here across. And it goes on under, like this. Under and over those 2 pieces. So, we're going to do this. Now, of course, when David gets home, he'll probably have to inspect this because that's his job. I think also I'm going to tighten all these up once everything is in place. Okay. Now we have another piece that's there. And part L to the front axle brace together. Oh. Alright, this needs to come off. have that there. I think I got most of it all set. Alright, so now what I need to do is to make the assembly to the base and the bucket. Let's see how I go there. I'm going to turn this off for a second. So now I'm going to be putting the base together, the front and the sides. It says first, the front, it says attach part G front panel. The front panel being this juicy here. How do I know which side is the front? I don't think it tells you from the bottom. Okay, well anyways, we're going to try this. And you take those doohickey pins and you put those through it, I believe. And did I do it in the right direction? It shows that it can go either way. So I am going to put that through as well. Alright, cool. Now to put the sides on. Now this might be taking me longer than my husband could do. But that's the way life is sometimes. Uh-oh. Ah, this is... Ah, this is going to be so cool. Alright, side 2. Again. Not a lot of room here, but it's progress. This is heavy. Okay. I'm going to put the back on. Same method. I'm sure my husband's going to laugh when he sees this, but honestly, I don't care. Alright, so the back is going to go on. So it's coming along pretty good, and I'm very grateful because my husband knew exactly what tools I needed to be able to put this together. And is it taking the 45 minutes that they said it would take? It could. But we have to remember, I don't do this stuff all the time. So I'll know that by the time I'm done how long it'll actually take for a first timer. The only mistake I have made is I put the front part on the back, so I just have to switch those out and that'll be fine. And everything on here is loosely put right now as I put the pieces together to make sure I have everything as such. But he did bring out, I was really kind of surprised because David gave me 3. This one is used, this is the 19. That one fits these bolts here. I don't have necessarily the most muscle strength to do this. I know he has I think he has an electric one, I don't know, but I will probably ask him to tighten this up tomorrow when I see him. But on here with the tires, it works because you've got the other metal piece holding it firm, so you're just kind of like screwing this right onto another unit that's not moving. You do need both of these to attach all these other little pieces, and I don't know if I can, anyways, you put one underneath to hold it, to hold the screw head in place, and then you just kind of bring this around. Otherwise, you're not going to get it put together. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I might be able to finish this before he gets home so he doesn't have to help me tighten it all up. But what I did basically is I put each piece in where it's supposed to go so that everything is together. I still have to put the handle on. I think that's the other thing, as well as 2 more tires on the other side. And then I have to tighten everything up. And then I'll have a wagon. I'll be back. So here is my garden cart that I made. I still need David to tighten up all the bolts and stuff for me. But I like it because right now the sides are down, and yet it's easy enough to bring the sides up to latch them in so I can put things into the sides. So here the sides are up, and it's really easy to put the sides up because you bring this up here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to do this one-handed. You bring it in. Oops, look at that. And you bring it down. So I can't do this one-handed. And it just locks it in place. And so I'm really happy with this because I think it's going to serve us a nice purpose and with the garden and moving things around. So this has been my project today, is to get the cart all made. I did a good job other than having to tighten up the bolts. I don't believe I have the right tools. I asked my husband, I said, tomorrow when you get home, I would like you to use your tools and tighten them up a little bit, and I think he'll understand that. He says, I'm sure I got you the right size. I said, no, there's something not fitting right. So we'll take a look at it tomorrow and we'll get these tightened up. So for now, it's just going to look pretty out in the gazebo, and then tomorrow I'll be able to use it. I think we're supposed to get rain, but if not, I will definitely use it to move things around in the yard. Folks, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope that good things are happening and that you're productive and keeping your strength up. Have a great day, folks. May your night be blessed. God bless. So my husband is trying to figure out why the size wrenches he gave me don't work, and he's discovering the same thing I did yesterday, which is that the bolt and what's the other part, David? Can't think this early in the morning.
The bolt and the nut.
The bolt and the nut are not necessarily the same size. And another thing that the manufacturer could have done is shared what type of wrenches we should have on hand to do this. It would have made it easier. It's not that we can't get this done. So, and he's using a ratchet, which is something that I pulled out yesterday myself, but I wasn't quite sure. I haven't used a ratchet in a long time, so.
They're hard to use in tight spaces.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if you heard that, but he's sharing they're hard to use in tight spaces. But overall, I think I'm pretty happy with all of this. What do you think, David? Do you think it'll work out good?
I think it's going to be beautiful.
Ratchets make the coolest sounds, don't they? But I truly could not tighten it by my hand. So this is all good.
Check one thing.
How's it going, hon?
It's going slow but steady.
Overall, you think I did good?
You did awesome.
That's what I thought. It's called optimism.
There she goes, off with her new little wagon. And around the corner and gone. But she'll be back.